Good morning, Year 4. So a new week of learning this week, and today in maths we are focusing on I can subtract from whole amounts. That is subtracting a fraction from a whole amount. There's a question here for you to have a go at, just to see how you get on, and then we'll go through and we'll talk about how we could have worked it out. And then that will lead us into our learning for the day. So in a moment, pause the video and have a go at the question. Remember, all the way through when we've been doing fractions, we've always said it's best to draw something out, to have a model, to have something to work from, something visual that you can work from. It's much easier for you to understand. So pause the video and then come back in a moment. Great. So you should have had a go at the question now. So it says, my friend had one orange. She ate 4/10 of the orange. How much did she have left? Okay. So when I look at this question straight away, I can see if there are 4/10 of the orange, she's divided that orange into 10 parts. Now, you could draw that as a circle, but circles are very tricky to get accurate parts that are the same. So I've drawn it out as a grid like this, and I have 10 parts in my grid to represent the 10 parts of the orange, which makes up the whole, because one whole orange would be all 10 of the 10 parts. So now my friend has eaten 4. So we are going to put a mark in 4 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're the 4 that she has eaten. And then I can very quickly see I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts of the orange left. So therefore I have 6/10 of the orange left. So by drawing it out, I can see really clearly what the question's asked me to do. So for this, we have to look at how we represent one whole as a fraction. So in this case, the denominator told us there were 10 parts to the whole. So the fraction for one whole is 10/10. Once we know this, we can do 10/10 take away 4/10 equals 6/10. Okay, because 10 take away 4 equals 6, and the denominator at the bottom doesn't change because the number of parts we have altogether doesn't change. And that's what we did for that original question. So in a moment, pause the video and have a go at these questions down the side here. So it's 1 take away 6/7, 1 take away 4/9, 1 take away 3/8, 1 take away 7/12, and 2 take away 3/5. So we'll have a go at them and then we'll go back and we'll have a look at how you get on. Okay, so you should have had a go at those by now. Using the same strategy, drawing out what the whole looks like. So for the first one, 6/7, you should have been able to divide something into 7 parts. So 7 squares on a page, you would have coloured in 6, and you should have been left with 1/7. For the second one, you would have divided it into 9 parts. You would have coloured in 4, and you should have been left with 5/9. For the next one, you would have divided your whole into 8 parts, coloured in 3, and should be left with 5/8. And then for this one, you'd have had 12 parts to your whole, coloured in 7, and been left with 5. Now, this bottom one's a little bit more tricky because this is 2. We've got to work out how 2 wholes is represented as a fraction. Okay, so if we look over here, 1 whole would be 5/5. So 2 wholes would be 10/5. And we looked at fractions greater than 1 before half term. Okay, so if we go back to our question and we have 10/5, take away 3/5, 10 take away 3 is 7. So your 7/5 would be your answer. But you could also represent that as 1 whole and 2/5. Because within 7/5, you've got 1 whole, 5/5, and 2/5 left over. Either way would be a correct answer. So using that idea of transferring more than 1 whole into a fraction, have a go at these questions, pause the video, and then we'll come back and we'll have a look at the answers. Okay, so you should have had a go at these by now. 3 take away 3/4 equals 3 take away 3/8 equals 3 take away 7/8 equals, and 3 take away 15/8 equals. And this reveals what your answer should be. So 3 take away 3/4 leaves you with 9/4. 3 take away 3/8 leaves you with 21/8. 3 take away 7/8 leaves you with 17/8. And 3 take away 15/8 leaves you with 9/8. Use a different color pen to mark them. If you've got them right, give a big tick. If you haven't, go back to drawing the parts out in the different color and see if you can find the different answer. When you've had a go at all of those, there is a challenge for you to have a go at. So Dora is subtracting a fraction from a whole. She's got 5 take away 3/7 equals 2/7. Can you spot her mistake? What should the answer be? And how many ways can you make the statement correct? 2 take away so many 8s equals 5/8, add something 8s. Bit tricky. That's maybe for those of you who've got a really good understanding. So pause the video and have a go, and I'll reveal the answers in a moment. Okay, so if you've had a really good go at these questions, get your coloured pencil ready or pen to mark off and see if you were right. So Dora has not recognised that 5 is equivalent to 35/7. So 5 take away 3/7 is the same as saying 33/7, because it'd be 35/7 take away 3, 35 take away 3 equals 32. And the bottom one here, how many ways can you make the statement correct? And these are the different ways of making the statement correct. I hope you understood what you were doing today, and we'll come back tomorrow and have a look at the next step.